rhythm, and pace. The question is, are you familiar with these words? Who can tell me what this means?
There is one song, no? Like the rhythm of the night.
The rhythm of the night, exactly.
The second one, I don't know what is it.
Well, but okay, if you're talking about rhythm, what's the relation between the rhythm of the night and language?
Like mm, how how can I say it? Like the time that you use, the when you say the things, the intonation. No, I'm not sure.
You are totally correct. And most importantly, what's the speed
Yeah.
uh, between one syllable and the other, you know? Which I think that's the most challenging section when you are talking about comprehension and understanding another person. The first problem is understanding the pronunciation of words and letters. And then the second problem is how they connect words between each other, why they are contracted, the modification of letters according to the speed, and all those small details that together make a monster and together make a very difficult thing to comprehend American people. Plus vocabulary, right? Because the first problem is understanding vocabulary. The second thing is the rhythm and how intonation goes up, intonation goes down, how quickly they mention words, how they separate syllables, and when they don't separate syllables, etc. So that's precisely one of the first things that I want to see today with you, right? How American people speak, what's their analysis, to analyze the way they talk. And I want you to see this teacher that I admire so much. Her name is Heather, and she's so good for understanding native speech and how they American people talk. The question is, do you know her?
No.
First time?
No.
Cool. Now I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna show you one of the teachers that I admire the most. Look at her. Let's listen to her.
Hey guys, it's Hadar, and this is the Accents Way, and today we're going to talk about American rhythm. We already said that American rhythm is derived from the content, which means words that are stressed are usually longer and higher in pitch. For example, content words like verbs, nouns, adjectives, and adverbs, in comparison to words that are less stressed, that are shorter and lower in pitch and softer. And these are function words like on and at, could, would, should, am is are, for, of, this, Now, if in your language you have specific stress patterns, meaning maybe you stress every other word, or maybe you only stress things at the beginning and drop at the end, this is a challenge for you. And this is why you need to change your mindset and start recognizing the words that you want to stress, and these are the words that you want to go for. And by go for, I mean prolong the main vowel in them and raise the pitch for them. And to demonstrate this idea of American intonation and rhythm even further, I chose to analyze with you this wonderful speech by Reese Witherspoon. Let's take a look.
What do we do now? Seriously, I'm not kidding. Go back and watch any movie and you will see this.
What do we do now? Here she's talking about the fact that almost in every movie, there is a point where the woman turns to the man asking, what do we do now? Okay, so let's analyze this question for a sec. What do we do now? The two words that stick out the most are what and now. And then we also have do. What do we do now? What do we do now? So we have what that is really high in pitch. Notice that she's not pushing her voice to say the what and the now. She just goes high in pitch. What do we do now? right? Now, of course, she's exaggerating, and I'm not expecting it to go this high in pitch. What do we do now? But just try to get the essence of the way she stresses things. What do we do now? So, what do we, it's not what do we, the we is not reduced, but she's saying it really, really quickly. What do we do, right? She's not going higher in pitch, but it's longer. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. It's not what do we do now? Da 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 da. What do we do now? What do we do now? So if you don't want to exaggerate it so much, you can just ask, what do we do now? What do we do now? Da 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 da. What do we do now, right? Now is really long. What is kind of long? Do is right there in the middle. Da 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 da. But the do we is short and somewhat reduced. What do we do now? Let's look at the next sentence.
Before going to the next sentence, I want you to see and I want you to hear what you understood. So let's go with Chris.
Okay.
Hello, man.
Well, she's talking about the rhythm when native speakers, when people speak English. She's putting the example, that phrase, what do we do now? And she is saying that the first part, what, and the end part, now, has a higher level or
Let's call it
pronunciation.
stress.
Yeah, correct. Stress. That the middle part. Do we do now? Do we do?
Correct. The middle part is smaller, is not that emphasized, but the what and the now are the important sections in this question. This is a perfect example of what we call rhythm, but most importantly, a new word that I want you to know, which is pitch. Pitch, when you are talking about sound, it's how high or low a sound is. In this case, we have the example of the musical note, but when we are talking about voice, we are actually talking about the sound of the syllable, whenever it's weak and whenever it's strong. Last week, we spoke about the strong syllables in a word, but we never discussed how words can be stronger than others in a sentence. So when you are reading, and if you want to analyze the way American people speak, you need to understand what words are usually stronger than others by analyzing pitch. What words are stronger than another? As Christian's saying, in the question, what do we know now? The pitch goes something like this. First, in the first word, it goes up. Then it goes really, really down. And then it really closes really high on the question, which is very different from Spanish. Analyzing pitch can actually help you distinguish between Spanish and English and make you a better listener and a better speaker if you know how to associate both. If you understand the difference between how an American people speak. This is very similar to what happens in Spanish when we are listening to a person from the north, from let's say Monterrey, versus a person from the Mexico City or Chiapas. They don't only change letters, they also change the pitch of the sentence. Because when you are listening to a question in Spanish from Mexico City, you will hear a sentence like, ¿y ahora qué hacemos? Then you hear a norteño, and then you hear, ¿y ahora qué hacemos? That, well, there was no difference on the word, but there was difference on the pitch. So understanding and mimicking pitch can make you a better speaker as well as a better listener. This is one of the most important tips that we need to take today. The second thing that happened is that some of the letters were actually different when she was talking. For example, this second D, was not pronounced like a D at all. If you analyze phonetically, she actually was saying, we're going to use the IPA symbols. Water. Water. I would say it's like, what are we? What are we? Do. And then we have a very, very strong. What do we do? Please observe how this D is technically a rareriroru. Rareriroru. Everybody open microphones and try to pronounce it with me. What are we?
What are we?
What are we?
What are we?
Without analyzing it, you are actually saying, what are we? What are we? Very good, Carlita. We are not saying what do we? What do we? Especially when you have the second do, what do we do? No? And that's the reason we don't understand this first do. That's going to be the second tip. American people usually, no, let's not American people, native, because British people do this too. Native people usually reduce phonemes on words that are obvious to them. So if you consider that an auxiliary is not really obvious, study them because they are very basic for your listening. What do we do? The second D is stronger. That's a normal D. Do. Do. Everybody pronounce the do with me. Do.
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 Correct. Perfect. Let's put it together. What do we do? What do we do?
What are we do?
What are we do?
Excellent, Isaac.
What are we do?
Exactly. Yes, good, Carlita. Be careful on the do, Isaac. The D. It
The,
needs to be more. Don't put the tongue between your teeth. You are pronouncing as that's a different sound. Do. D.
the,
Side.
what are we do? No?
Kind
No,
of.
could you repeat that part?
Sure. Let's go to the soundboard. The
Yeah.
soundboard's better for this, so you can see clearly.
Yeah.
Soundboard. Letter D.
D. Say that with me. D.
Yeah. Look at the position.
Yes, it's with the tongue on the, how to
Inside.
say? Yes.
Inside and up. Do.
Do.
Excellent. That
Do.
sounds better.
What are we do?
What do
Do.
we do?
Do.
Do.
What are we? Yeah.
Do.
So what are we? Could you show the other slide?
Sure,
What are
sure.
we do?
D.
The what are we do?
D.
Exactly.
The,
Make sure
Mhm.
your tongue
D.
is not
the,
visible.
the. Okay, yeah. I think, well, I think that I'm having problems with that part because I used to have, well, yes, I had brackets and I have like a small piece of metal behind my teeth. So I
Oh,
have some troubles putting my tongue in that part. So,
are you wearing brackets right now? Really?
no, I wear them where a long time ago, but I have like a small piece of metal, so my,
I
how
do.
say, my teeth don't
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
Okay. In that case, do. Try to pronounce it then as a letter. Speak Spanish. Pronuncia en español tomate.
Tomate.
Así como pronunciaste la T, así es la D en inglés.
The,
D,
the,
d, 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 do,
the.
do,
Okay.
do, do.
The.
Tomate, do. Tomate, do. Es el
Tomate.
mismo sonido.
Tu. Tu.
Ajá.
Tu.
Yes, do.
Okay.
Es
Okay.
la D, imagínate como una T en español.
Okay.
Y cuando
Okay.
veas una T en inglés, haz la expresión ser, ser.
Okay.
That's a tip.
Okay. Thanks.
Mhm. That's easier to understand it.
Yeah.
This letter D looks like at the first sight is so easy, no? It's a normal D. It's not. This letter D is very, very different in English. That's the reason it's very important to see how strong. When it's strong, it sounds very different than when it's weak. What do we do? And then the now, the now is so strong. This is exaggerated and very, very strong. Saying, what do we do now? Everybody pronunciation. What do we do now?
What do we do now?
Good. Good. Next, everybody.
What do we do now?
What are we do
What do we do now?
Good. Can you
What
repeat,
What do we
Chris?
do now?
Chris, repetition.
What do we do now?
Good. Give me a stronger now. Now.
What do we do now?
Exactly. Yeah, I would say that this modification is exactly on the O. Now. What do we do now?
What do we do now?
Excellent, brother. Very good. Mm-hmm. And you see
Like a
how
cat.
the auxiliary do is now almost unheard. What a. I repeat, if you don't remember the auxiliaries, you will not understand pitch and rhythm. So master the formulas. The formulas are very, very basic to understand this. If you don't remember the auxiliary have, or the auxiliary did, or the auxiliary, etc., pitch will be very difficult to understand. Of course. Structures Handbook. Questions? You want to say something, Silvana? I couldn't hear you. Your microphone.
He stole my my glasses, so I was telling him that those glasses look good. Yeah.
On him. I thought you were talking to us. Okay. Well, anyway, let's pass to the next
Yeah, baby.
action.
What do we do now? Seriously, I'm not kidding. Go back and watch any movie, and you will see the.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. Go back and watch any movie. Seriously, not kidding. Any movie. These are the stress words. Seriously, not kidding. Any movie.
In previous exercises, the people who took listening with me in B1, I think it was Chris, the first words that you understood were the stressed words, which in this case, the ones that are more clear are seriously, not kidding, because she actually stopped for a second, and any movie. That will be the easiest part to understand. And usually the student has a very strong complication understanding the rest. This clearly gives an example of what happens in the student brain when it's listening. The first words that you understand are the black ones. And second, we usually ignore the ones that the person spoke fast. The gray letters are the ones that the American person spoke fast. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
No.
Cool. Perfect. Then let's go to the exemplification. This is going to be speed. When I talk about speed, this is when I'm talking about pace. The word that we had in the title. Let's write this word. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Let me make it smaller. Go back and watch any movie. The pitch goes like this. I'm going to use color blue to exemplify quick speaking. And then we are going to use color red to exemplify slow. Okay? Clearly, she used the not very, very emphasized and the word any. Those are the words that you are going to hear more clearly. When American people, when native first people talk slowly, they are emphasizing words. They're speaking clear and very, very slow. But when they are using the word, this part of go back and watch, that was very, very quickly spoken, and there was no emphasis in it. No emphasis and quickly mentioned. This is when contractions and reductions usually occur. What do you understand with reduction?
With reduction,
Reduction.
then they don't emphasize the pronunciation.
Close. I mean, that's when they don't emphasize, or that's the reason there is a reduction. But what is a reduction?
And maybe it's when they like put two words together, like in
Nice.
one phrase. No, well, yes, no, like it's they only say one word. Maybe it's all like one word, but they are saying two.
Correct. So you're getting closer. You're getting closer because that's more like a contraction, right?
Okay.
What happens with reductions is when a word loses a letter on the pronunciation. You know, so in a big sentence, some letters are going to disappear. They are not going to be mentioned. So you will hear that she says something like, go back in. Let's go to symbols. Something like this. She says, go back in. Looks like another language now, like Russian, something like that. Go back and watch. Go back and watch. And then the strong one is any, like explicitly. Any, very strong, very, very vocal, very, very loud. That's a reduction. That's what I mean with reduction. Like this. What letters disappeared in this case?
C.
In which one? Oh well, but the letter C has the same sound as the letter K.
No, I mean D.
Yeah, right.
And
That's right.
it's the
This letter T.
same. Is the same example that we saw in Friday with the phrase. One second. With the phrase.
What phrase? What phrase?
It almost certain that there are a key moment. Sorry, it's almost certain that at and we remove the T from that, the last T from that.
Correct. Yes. Letter T usually disappears at the end of a letter when the next word starts in T or vowel. And that happens, it's not a rule, but American people talk like that. The next word helped, well, the letter T was removed because American people are speaking fast. This is what a reduction is, Chris. When the last letter in a sentence just doesn't sound. Is that difficult?
Okay.
Why are you crying?
Yeah, sometimes it's difficult for me to remember all the rules.
Yeah. But that's the positive thing is that it's not a rule, it's just a pattern. And I think that's something that we need to understand here. The difference between a pattern and a rule. A rule is something that everybody should be able to see. Okay, that's gonna be easy. You can see a rule, but you can hear a pattern. A rule is for emails, for text, for writing. But a pattern is something you naturally hear. The past of regular verbs, how they are pronounced, irregular verbs, omission of letters and reductions. All of these are patterns that everybody does naturally.
Well, teacher, this is rhythm, rhythm and reduce. But how is called when people remove words? For example, I saw movies, and when they are asking, when they are using this phrase, "Are you okay?" American people just say, "You okay?"
You okay? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. That will be somewhat, that will be another type of reduction, eh? Another type of reduction, but that will be a grammatical reduction. For some reason, they don't use the verb to be. No, you say, you okay? You good? And it's the same thing.
Correct.
It's a grammatical reduction. And every time it happens when the question is so obvious. The verb to be is so simple that sometimes it's not necessary to use. When? It depends. It's you need to memorize and observe the patterns. That's the only way. Oh yes.
Okay.
Let's listen to what the teacher has to say. Listen to her.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. Go back and watch any movie. So she really slows down hitting those stressed words. And this is not too speechy. That's how people actually speak, right? It's a comment that she's adding. It's not planned, I think, right? Seriously, I'm not kidding. Seriously, that's higher in pitch. The C, which is the primary stress, is longer than the rest of the syllables. Ta-da-da-da. And I'm not kidding. Both the not and the kidding are stressed. Kidding is a little more stressed than not, so it's going to be a little higher in pitch. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Go back and watch. Go back and watch. Go back and watch. Go back, watch. These are 3 content words, but they're not as stressed. They're not reduced, so we don't reduce the vowel there to a schwa, but they're said quickly and softly and with very little effort. Go back and watch any movie, right? Slow, slow. Go back and watch any movie. I'm not pushing it. I'm not stressing it. I'm not necessarily saying it a lot louder. It's just slower. Go back and watch any movie, and it's the distinction between the fast part and the slow part that makes it different, that helps it stick out. So it's not just about saying it slowly or strongly or higher in pitch. It's also about what I did just before, which is I kind of like reduced it, or she did.
I can watch any movie and you will see this line over and over again. You're going to see it now.
And you will see this line over and over again. And you will see this line over and over again. And you will see this line. So first of all, listen to the melody. Every syllable has a different note. And you will see this line. And you will, she didn't reduce it to a you'll. And you will see this line, but it's said quickly and effortlessly. And you will see this line is longer, over and over again, right? Again is reduced. Over and over again, because it's not about the repetition, it's about how it happens every single time. This is why she chooses to stress over and over and over again. And you will see this line over and over again.
You're going to see it now.
You're going to see it now. You're going to see it now. Now, she's not saying you're going to see it now. She's not just reducing it. She's going higher in pitch. But in this case, that doesn't mean that it's stressed. This is a common pattern where a sentence starts with higher notes. You're going to see it now. But see is the word that sticks out, that is longer. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. You're going to see it now. You're going to see it now. See it. It's reduced, right? It's not see it. You're gonna.
She did a very, very great. I love her. Can I marry her? She's gonna be my wife. I think she is going to be my wife. Definitely. Do you agree with me? Look at this. She said see it. That part, I was thinking the same thing. Do you remember how the pronunciation of these 2 letters are different? We saw it last week.
The first is E, no? The first C-E, and the other is it.
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 That articulation and the difference between those 2, she can actually put those sounds together and you can hear a difference. Thanks to the number 1, the phonetic that is different, and number 2, the stress. So with these 2 things, you can separate the word in your mind. See it. And now it's easier to understand. Do you agree with me? If you pronounce both in the same plane and you say seat, I cannot understand the same, 2 different words. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So the pitch and the pronunciation naturally separates the 2 words. That really helps you understand. And that's the reason reading can affect your listening. So you need to read properly to understand properly. And when an American person is speaking to you, you will understand these 2 differences. See it. Everybody pronounce it. Gonna see it.
Gonna see it.
Gonna say it.
I like it. Make it more different. Gonna see it.
Gonna see it.
Gonna, not wanna. Gonna.
Gonna see it.
Okay, there's a problem on the letter O. It's not gonna. It's ga.
Ga-
Gonna see.
Gonna see it.
Perfect. Good. Again, Carlita. Gonna see it.
Gonna see it.
Good. Jessie. Gonna see it.
Gonna see it.
Good. Perfect. Silvana. Gonna see it.
She's not here right now.
She is not there right now. Christian. Gonna see it.
Gonna see it.
Perfect. You see, you're pronouncing two words. Before this video, the pronunciation would be very different. Gonna sit. Will be a very different word. So here is the importance of phonetics, plus pitch and rhythm. You're gonna see it now. You're gonna see it now. Action. Be careful. Many people pronounce this UR contraction, and many people say your or your. The letter O is not necessary. The letter U is not necessary. You're gonna. Everybody, you're gonna.
You're gonna.
Mhm.
You're gonna.
Good. Go, Jesse.
You're gonna.
You're. No, your.
Here. Can you repeat, please?
Sure. You're gonna.
You're gonna.
Excellent.
You're
Again, your confidence, conviction. You're gonna.
You're gonna.
Okay, like it. Christian, you're gonna.
You're gonna.
Perfect. Now we're gonna put it together. You're gonna see it now. Isaac, you're gonna see it now.
You're gonna see it now.
It's not gonna. Watch out.
You're gonna. You're
Yes.
gonna see it. You're gonna see it now.
See it.
See it. You're gonna see it now.
See it. No, see it.
See it.
See
See it. Could you repeat that, though? See it?
Sure. You're gonna see it now.
See it now. You're gonna see it now. See it now.
See it.
See it. See it. See it now. Oh, come on.
Hey, that's a difficult word because you're pronouncing the letter E and the letter I similarly. You need to pronounce both different things. E E E E E E.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna see it now. See
Oof.
it now.
Yes. Isaac
Okay.
is gringo. Oh yes. Very good. Christian, you're gonna see it now.
You're gonna see it now.
Perfect. Good job. Carlita, you're gonna see it now.
You're gonna see it now.
Good. Perfect. Jesse, you're gonna see it now.
You're gonna see it. Sorry. You're gonna
Oh,
see it now.
see it. Exactly. Separate letter I sounds different. It's not eat. I eat a sandwich. I eat sushi. It. See it.
See it.
Mhm.
You're gonna see it now.
Good. Very good. That's correct. Is Silvana there?
Not yet.
Silvana needs a very homework. It's gonna be homework for you, Silvana.
Okay.
Good
I
job.
hope she watched the recording.
The recording, me too. Oh yes. Anyway, good job, guys. Let's give a moment to Jessie because she's in the chat. Hello, Jess.
Hello, good night. Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
girl.
I will take attendance. Is he Christian? Hello, Christian. Good night.
Well, good night.
Thank you, Christian. Jessie. Hello, Jessie. Good night.
Good night. Hello.
Thank you, Jessie. Isaac. Hello, Isaac. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Thank you, Isaac. And Denise. Hello, Denise. Welcome back.
Hey,
Good
Jessie. Good night. Hello.
Denise. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
You too, my
See
lady.
you,
See you
teacher. You're welcome.
tomorrow. Oh, yes. Continue.
See it now. You're gonna see it now. I'm always playing with my head voice and my chest voice. I'm going up. I'm not pushing my voice. You're gonna see it now, right? I'm not using more energy to stress. I'm just raising my pitch slightly. And if you're not comfortable with going really high in pitch, because you go really high in pitch when you really want to stress something, you can go a little lower in pitch, or you can just prolong the word. You're gonna see it now. You're gonna see it now, and that's also okay. But it is different than you are going to see it now. You are going to see it now, or you're gonna see it now, right? You're gonna see it now. That's the rhythm, that's the melody, and that's the feel of American English. Let's
You are going to see it now. That's didactical English, and we don't need didactical English to listen. That's not going to help you. Never. Questions? Super cool. Well, what we need to do then, in a nutshell, is number one, I'm going to pass you this video for you to keep watching it. In a nutshell, rhythm and pace is technically understanding how high or low a sound is. The pace is understanding how a sentence loses or wins phonemes with stress of syllables. And what stress? Well, strongly pronounced syllables. Those are the three concepts that you need to understand when American people are talking. And what I really strongly recommend is understanding, for example, when the volume of the syllable is actually stronger and lower. A low volume will help you determine reductions. A low volume syllable set of words. No, a low volume set of syllables that were pronounced without effort and usually loses letters on the pronunciation. Like it affects letter D, it affects letter T, usually with letters at the end. And then the strong syllable, the stress, are the syllables that are stronger, and usually they are the ones that you can understand more. Oh, by the way, strongly pronounced syllables that are pronounced with emphasis. Those are the concepts that we are going to use this week to understand the exercises that we have for this week, because we're going to do listening, we're going to understand vocabulary, and we're going to practice with stress and reduction, stress and reduction, stress and reduction. Okay? Tomorrow we have an exercise about this. I hope you enjoy it. Meanwhile, we finish for today. Have a very good day. Good night.
Thank you, teacher. Good
Okay,
night.
thank you.
Good night,
See you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, my people. See you later.
See you.
Bye, brother. See you later.